5 new students. 5 souls who could hear the song of Ilvar Haren. But something about them was different. Upon completing the hummingbird medallion, they seemed to awaken strange monsters from the forest, fighting them off. All while being watched by a mysterious figure with a body of branches, on the back of a horse with a mane of flames. And while they made it to the academy, would rest await them? Or is something more sinister waiting in the whispers in the dark? Only time will tell as we journey into the Faeforge Academy. You're not doing enough. Let me in. You need to do more. As you had an unsettled sleep with various images of these creatures that you fought, you see this branched creature sitting on top of this horse with a mane of flames, and your sleep is unsettled. Ashryn, as you rest, as you sleep, these visions of these creatures, the call of the magic of this school set in the Fae realms, or on the border of the Fae in the material plane. There's something calling deep into you. Some of it is the fear, but some of it is there's this natural connection you have. And in the midst of these sort of nightmares, you awaken. And it's probably 2 or 3 in the morning. It's dark and quiet outside. What do you want to do?
As I wake up, I'll kind of stir the fireplace that's in my room. And as you said, I do feel like there is like a calling towards me, like something deep inside my soul, not just the whispers. And I want to go out to that tree.
Okay. So as you open your door quietly, that common room, there's also a small fireplace in there that's just flickering a little bit. The halls of this basically dorm that you're staying in seem empty. You're able to walk outside, and as you get to the tree, you hear that singing, that melody, as you see these like glowing veins of magic going up this enormous trunk. The colors of the leaves are still bright, and that melody is just all around you and inside of you. And you see, just sitting cross-legged underneath their back against a tree, a shorter ladrin with short orange hair. They wear a simple green cloak over their head, but even under that you can see these fiery orange eyes. And they're just sitting with their hands around their knees, looking up into the tree, just kind of admiring the night. So that's what you see as you approach.
It doesn't seem like it's a professor.
If you were to guess, they would be a student.
Okay. Getting that vibe, I'm going to just go and sit by this person quietly and kind of put my hands around my knees too. And I don't want to necessarily touch the tree yet. I just kind of want to sit beside this person. And to them, I will say, I didn't expect anybody else to be out.
They, as you approach, they kind of looked at you sort of like, why are you coming towards me? As you sit, you get a little bit better look at their kind of long, skinny face. They're very young, probably younger than you are, as you're both elves. They say, "Oh, I don't sleep much here. This tree reminds me of home."
Does the tree call to you?
Yeah, I think it calls to most of us. That's how we get here. But I'm from the Feywilds, and the song reminds me of home. I miss it.
And you're Eldarin, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you are as well. Are you not?
I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from Falls Crossing. It's not in the Feywild.
Hmm.
But we're all Eldarin there. It's an Eldarin town.
Have you ever been to the Feywild? You've been in a forest like this?
No.
Hmm.
The forest I came from was home.
Yeah.
I feel something here.
Yeah, that's that's the magic that keeps this place going, I think. It's good. It's a good thing. It's where our people get our unique skills and talents, and there's something special about this one though. This magic here it's different than anything I've been around. It's more powerful or more real, or I don't know. I like it. It's being sitting under this tree is kind of what gives me a little bit of peace in the chaos of learning, and they push you so hard, and there's just lots of stuff at this school. Are you new?
Yes, I just got here. How long have you been going to school here?
This will be the start of my second year. I'm sorry. And they kind of pull their hood down, kind of have like a short, scruffled. Their hair's not really put together. They smile at you. They I'm Evie. What was your name?
Ashryn.
Ashryn.
Evie, can I ask you a question?
Oh, of course.
Um, is is the Feydark? I've heard stories of the Feydark in the Feywild, which is why we don't live there. Is that not everywhere?
It's not everywhere.
Hmm.
Where I lived, we only heard rumors of it. I've never even seen the effects personally, but I know there are regions in the Feywilds that have been corrupted and are very dangerous. But I'm sorry that that's what happened to your home and your clan.
I want to see the Feywild.
Well, this is a good start. I'm sure you'll get to in your studies. What are you here to study? What are you making?
I carve wood, and I'm going to kind of dig into like a side satchel that I pretty much carry everywhere with me and pull out a little otter that is out of wood, and I'm going to hand it to her.
Mm.
And it's on this otter is like very nicely carved, and there's like burns in it to kind of indicate like fur or eyes, but very natural looking still.
Yeah. So Evie is it's still just the carving, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so Evie takes it and they as they hold it, they look at it and says, "Oh, this is really nice. I really this is really beautiful. You have a gift."
And as she says that, the otter comes to life, and it's a dark colored otter, and on it has like the black fur looks like maybe like autumn leaves along its side, and it comes to life, and it like playfully like runs around her shoulders and under her sweater and pops its head out and starts playing with her.
Yeah, and just so you're clear, Evie's they them.
They them.
Just so you're aware.
Thank you.
So as the otter kind of pops around and starts running, Evie's like, "Oh, this is amazing. This that is I think you're going to do very well here. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it. I don't make things quite as beautiful necessarily, but and they just pull out a small little dagger. So I do stuff in the forge, and this I made this, and it's not super decorative or anything. It's very simple. But as they hand it to you and you hold it, you can feel that it's just really, really well made. You say, it's like a little kitchen knife, but you cut once, and then it cuts the whole vegetable or fruit. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, what I'm working on. And as you both are having this conversation back and forth, Ashryn, you notice there's been a light on in the Great Hall, which surrounds this courtyard that you're in with Ilvahar and the singing tree. And someone props the door open, sticks their head out, and they're hooded. They close it and they kind of just run off, walking very quickly past you, sort of into where the vine bridge that you all crossed earlier, running off that way. And he says, did you see that?
I did see that. That's not normal.
No, I think people running off into the night is not normal anywhere.
Well, I wasn't sure if kids snuck out. You're out here.
Yeah. I say, I don't know if that was a student that looked like. I must have seen wrong.
Should we chase them?
I mean, that's your choice.
Are you going to come with me?
I don't want any trouble.
Do I know where where any of the other students I came in with are staying? Like, do I have time to go get them, or do I just have to go?
You could absolutely go knock on their doors. You kind of all your rooms were connected to one common room.
We have a suite together.
Essentially, yeah.
I'm gonna like rush back, knock on their doors, and as I'm doing that, I'm like, Evie, I'm just too curious, and I'm gonna wave to them as I leave.
And they say, well, okay, I'll be here. And so as you run in and you knock on the doors, you hear Beskey just snoring away. As you rap, you can't wake him up. Sepia gives you I'm trying to sleep, leave me alone. And then Ariadne and Khoz, as you hear these raps on your door.
You can come in.
I'll go in. I don't know if we should be worried about what's going on here, but I'm hearing whispers, and then there was a person that just rushed out. I was by the tree. I don't know. I kind of want to see what the school's about, if you both are interested in going.
What time is it?
Like the middle of the night.
Well, I was having bad dreams too, but that sounds a little more ominous than I was expecting. I'll get up and get.
As you knock on Koz's door, like the door just like flies open all of a sudden. There's Khoz looking like really wild-eyed, like a little bloodshot. He's got like his fingers are kind of cut up because he's been like working all night. He's not slept at all. He looks at you and says, "What is it?"
There was a person who ran by the tree, and they were hooded, and it looked it looked not typical. I was wondering if we should go check it out. I don't know if we should cause trouble this early being here, but
Well, I mean, seems suspicious. People running around in the middle of the night. We should do that too. And Khoz like shuts his door really suddenly, and you're like, was that a yes? Was that a no? And then all of a sudden, like, it flies open again. He's got his instrument with him, and he's like, all right, let's go.
All right, so all three of you are heading out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, Ashryn, as you're kind of leading the way, you come back out, you follow this path that he took. You all see basically where you first entered the grounds. You can see this plant wall is starting to, like, grow back together as though someone just walked through it. And you make it across the bridge. To your best guess, you would assume that the individual you saw, Ashryn, just exited the grounds. What do y'all do?
do you think this is another test?
I mean, maybe. I don't know why they would wake us up on the first night, though.
No.
It's a little intense.
So you see that causes like a slight tremble to his hands, and he pulls out. He has like a little thermos. He like opens it up and drinks it. It's a bit of it's a root tea that I made. Kind of helps me stay focused. And he offers both Ashryn and Ariadne if they want any.
Oh yeah, I will definitely take a drink. It's not alcoholic, is it?
Oh no, it's quite the opposite.
Like nervously take a sip.
It's this like very thick, black, bitter,
And then drink the
root tea.
It's very nice. Thank you. Like awkwardly hit it back, like.
Yep. He calls it
good.
He calls it a brickle root tea. Write that down.
Brickle root, I like it. So what are y'all doing?
So where was the tree exactly?
We saw that there's this bridge, this magical bridge that as you walk across it, plants come and form a pathway for you to cross. And we see that it's just
closing, right?
It's just closing, so we know that someone's just walked across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We follow.
Following?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you follow.
And does this take us out of the school grounds now once we cross this bridge?
Across the bridge would not.
Okay.
It brings you, if you remember, there was the to kind of rebuild the picture of the school grounds. You first entered through like this wall of plants essentially that opened as your hummingbird went into it, and then the first kind of level you saw was filled with like farms and like a lot of agricultural stuff. It was very flat, and then the castle was across like almost a moat, and that's where that vine bridge brought you to kind of the main section of the castle.
So the farmlands are part of the school grounds.
Exactly, yeah, because they do lots of like alchemy and botanical, using plants for different projects and whatnot. So it's your first time without a guide going across this bridge. So I imagine you all kind of being tentatively like, oh, is the plant? Are the plants going to come?
Is this allowed?
Well, I remember when we first came through here, like Khoz like kind of like went back and like very like with some trepidation, like put his foot down. It seemed to work okay, so he feels pretty good about like just stepping out. And, then
and as you do it, those vines form under your feet and catch you and start to form the bridge across. And you make it there. You see the wall open up and close again, as if someone just passed through it. Though you still haven't been able to make out necessarily a form or person. You're just seeing the kind of the effects of the school that you've so far learned as you go. What do we do? Gonna keep following?
Yes. And I'll cast light on myself as well, so I got a little bit of vision since it's dark outside.
Nice. So as you start to glow and you guys approach this wall, that hummingbird medallion, Ashryn, that you took from Rinny, glows, basically comes back to life, shoots into the wall and reopens it up. And as you go out, why don't you all give me a perception check?
6.
That would be an 8.
A 12.
A 12. Okay. So as you see the light emanating from you, you see maybe 60 feet away, kind of still walking quickly. You see a cloaked figure, and just kind of going in and out of some trees, going kind of southwest of where you are, which is in a similar direction to where you originally came from. As you continue to pursue or follow, I'm assuming you guys are trying to be a little bit sneaky.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to make
Yes.
stealth checks with disadvantage because of the light coming off of one of your party.
Sorry.
I rolled a
Scared of
5.
the dark. A 13.
I got a 15. Ooh.
Okay.
Not bad.
Rolling well.
Could be worse.
So Khoz, you hear Ashryn like kind of stumbling and tripping over a couple different things, just making a whole bunch of noise behind you. As you go, you see kind of in a tree, you see a familiar little fairy.
Oh.
He says, what are you all doing out here? People are trying to sleep.
Well, go back to sleep then. Shush.
Don't wake me up.
I didn't wake you up. You woke up on your own.
You're going to need to break some more strings.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You go back to bed, you. Well, remember, what was this fairy's name again? Do you remember?
I think it was Nixie.
Nixie, that's right. Nixie, now's not the time.
Am I going to have to go tell those professors in that school of yours that you guys are sneaking around out here?
No, please don't. We're sorry. He's sorry.
As you start to say no and kind of show that like fear and concern, just the biggest smile pops on this little fairy's face. Like, huh, so what's it worth to you?
Well,
I glare at Ariadne.
I'm very small and I don't have much money.
What if we tell the professors you're making trouble out here?
Oh. I smile
they'd,
approvingly at Ashryn.
They'd probably laugh at you because I that's kind of what, like, that's my jam.
How about we owe you a favor?
Ooh.
That I'm interested in. I will find you soon.
Oh, soon.
I return back to my previous task of glaring at Ariadne.
Well, have a lovely night. I am going to sleep much better. Though, tall elf lady, I always thought your people were better at walking through the woods, so maybe don't step on all the branches.
Oh, well, I mean, usually they are. That was a little rude. Small sprite thing.
It was quite rude.
It's rude to wake me up.
Hey, do you know who's going through the forest? Did you see?
You are.
No, not us. Did you see the other figure?
There's someone else? You're following someone? Oh, why didn't you say so? This is interesting. Well, which way were they going when you saw them?
The same way we're going.
That makes sense. Well, that's a good point. Give me a minute. And they take off and fly up above the trees. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, they come back and say, was the individual, were they wearing a hood? Kind of all shady like?
Yeah, that was them.
Oh, yeah, they went and kind of points a little further south. They went that way. Yeah, that looks really interesting. Maybe you could find out what they're doing and you could tell me about it. If it's a good story, we might call your debt paid.
I look over at Ariadne. I mean, seems fair.
I mean, we did wake him up.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, as long as it's a good story, we'll consider it paid. If it's a bad story, then I get to be the judge. That's how my deals work. They're getting away though, so go on. Shoo.
A quick insight check. The direction that Nixie pointed us is that the same general direction that we already
you don't need to roll.
suspected this figure of going?
Yeah, they went.
Because Nixie's not been totally honest with us in the past. Some might say Nixie is a liar.
I've heard that word tossed around before, but I don't know if I would confirm or deny that. But yeah, as you go, you kind of catch up on the trail with the help of Nixie, and in the distance you see this hooded figure talking with someone on the edge of a pond. And I would like you all to roll one more stealth check. Is your light still on?
Yes, because she doesn't know that it's
that's a problem. I love it. So yeah, with disadvantage.
15.
I rolled a 6 again.
Oh no.
I got a 13.
So as you all kind of start to approach, the crunching of Ashryn has not changed. You see with each step, which is ironic given that Ariadne is literally glowing.
Are you okay? Do you need some help?
Yeah, I just fell off, everybody.
And this hooded figure you've been following, you don't get a great view of their face. Their back is to you, but they're talking to another creature or person or being in like kind of really shaggy robes, long hair. Seems to be feminine in at least their physical appearance. Very old, and they're and hunched looking though. As these two are talking, you hear this old creaky voice say, "There are extra ears around. We should continue this conversation another time." And as that happens, you watch as a mist surrounds the hunched over creature, and they vanish. The hooded creature looks back at you. You can't make out too much of the facial features, but they pull out something from within their robes. And why don't you roll me a perception check.
18.
18?
10.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So Ashryn and Khoz in particular, as you watch him pull it out, it almost looks like he pulls out a doorknob and sticks it in the air and twists it. And as that happens, this purple light goes up and makes essentially a door that this person pulls open. And as he twists on that doorknob to pull, the two things you notice is it appears that there are fingers missing from his hand. And on his pinky is just this enormous, gaudy gold ring. He pulls this arcane door open, steps through it, and closes it, and that purple light vanishes, and he's gone.
Which fingers was he missing?
His middle and ring finger.
Which finger was the ring on? Oh, his pinky finger. You said that.
Pinky.
So both figures are gone now, or just the one that the hooded person was talking to?
Both figures. So the hunched figure disappeared in like a cloud of mist, and then the one you were following, with that Khoz and Ashryn noticed about their hand, walked through in some sort of arcane door.
That was weird.
I don't feel so good about this.
Khoz is gonna keep creeping up towards where this kind of disappearing act happened and search around for clues.
I've had a bad experience with doors in the sky.
That's a story.
Why don't you roll an investigation check?
All right. That is a glorious 11.
An 11. As you look around, you don't see much. Like the best clue you get is this individual was wearing some sort of boots. Like you can see their footprints in the ground. Doesn't seem like much was left behind. There's a little bit of like dampness, like basically water, where the hunched individual was. And that's what you find.
Comparing their boot print to my boot print, what can I get a good like estimate of the size of their boot?
You're a dwarf.
I am a dwarf.
I don't know how big dwarf feet are.
They're the size of regular feet.
Okay. I mean, it looks like a regular humanoid foot.
Okay. I'm like a size, I'm like a size 11. Are they a little bigger than me, a little smaller?
Roll an intelligence check, just a straight intelligence.
13.
You stick your foot on on one of the prints, and it's a little smaller than yours.
All right. I look back at the rest of the my other student colleagues here as I size this boot print. I'm like, boot print smaller than mine, gaudy ring, missing fingers. You know what this means?
We need to tell the headmaster.
No, I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm lost. I'm in the dark.
Ariadne, I think you're right. Maybe we need to go tell the headmaster. Headmaster, do we know?
Professor Dorvalef.
It's the guy, right?
No, so he's the head of admissions. On your letter, at the school, they don't refer to the headmaster as a headmaster. They're referred to as the master artisan.
Oh, okay. Right.
And their name is Rayala Valdirin.
Do you think that we should tell her because we might get in trouble?
Why will we get in trouble?
We haven't even met her yet. That could be her.
Do we have a curfew?
No, I
No
don't
one's
know.
explained any rules to you yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll tell her.
Well, if no one's explaining the rules to us yet, so now is our time to act.
As this is happening, you hear a familiar shriek coming through the forest.
Oh no!
No. We
Is
should
it like
go back.
oh, we're so glad to hear that shriek again, or is it the shriek of oh shoot, it's that shriek again?
No, it's the bad shriek.
Oh, bad shriek.
Run.
Oh, run. Yes.
Run.
If you want, you can make a perception check as you run.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
No, not good. I'm not
18.
rolling good today.
Nice.
7.
16. I'm rolling well today.
Well, Ariadne, you're really... I imagine she's just really focused on getting back to the school.
Yeah.
Hear the shriek, she's like, nope, I'm out. But Khoz and Ashryn, you see on the horizon a branched figure on a horse with manes of flames. Not sure how close.
I'm just going to run for it as fast as I can.
Is this creature between us and the school?
That's behind you.
Oh yeah,
Behind
just
you in the school.
booking it.
They're not moving. They're just on the horse. You just see the silhouette.
That's fine. I'm still running as fast as my dwarven little legs will carry me with my average size feet.
Yeah, so as you guys you do manage to make it back to the school. The gate opens up. As it does open, you see a little light flicker on in that same house that you were in, and a very tired Rinny walks out, and she says, rubbing her eyes, her hair still in those red buns on top of her head. What are you all doing here? What's happening?
We saw a hooded
Nothing.
figure. Nothing? Oh, nothing.
No. I like your story better. That's a better story.
We saw a hooded figure run through the school, so we followed it, and it escaped through a door, and then we saw a monster and came home. That's pretty much the short story. I can give you the long story.
Were you having the weird dreams too?
Weird dreams. You had those whispers?
We all did.
Yeah, I heard a whisper.
You heard a whisper? What do you mean?
Like something like when I was sleeping, like let me in, or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's very strange. There's a lot of weird stuff that started since you got here.
Coincidence?
maybe can you all get back to your room?
Oh, we're on our way now.
Okay, that seems good. And maybe tell not me. I just want to rest and do my classes, and I just don't want any trouble, please.
I put a reassuring hand on Renee's shoulder and I say, "Go back to bed, Renee."
Yeah, you too. You too. Why are you glowing?
I do that sometimes.
Maybe you could teach me. That's something I'm interested in. Not scary monsters.
Well,
anyways, good
I
night.
could try.
And just kind of closes the door without acknowledging you all. So I'm assuming you all make it back to your rooms unless there's anything else you want to do. Yeah. So
maybe go down to the kitchen and make another pot of brickle root tea.
Khoz never sleeps. Maybe you should have been a warlock.
No, Khoz sleeps. Just his eyes open while he's doing other things.
So you make it back to your rooms. The rest of your night goes uneventfully. Ashryn, you do notice Evie is sitting still under the tree, though they seem to be sleeping now, just with their cloak pulled around them.
As we walk past them, I want to take out one of the different animals that I've crafted, and it'll be a fish.
Okay.
And I'm just going to set it in their lap, just as like a thank you for being nice to me, because I'm not used to that kind of behavior from somebody. But I don't want to wake them up.
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. So after that, you all make it back to your rooms. You get whatever rest you need to. The rest of your night is actually fairly peaceful. The whispers are gone. You dream about whatever you dream about. In the morning, as you all wake up, you come out into your common room. You notice that Sepia and Beskey's doors are both open and nobody's inside. And sitting on a couch in your common room is again Rennie, and she says, "Well, seems like that late night really slept in. We were supposed to get going probably an hour ago."
Oh no, I hate being late.
I mean, it's.
I'm sorry.
You've had an eventful couple days, and hopefully it's done. But I am tasked with giving you a tour, so I assume you're all hungry.
Yes, hungry.
Okay, well, let's head to the Great Hall. We'll have some breakfast. It's where all the meals are. I think it's one of the most important places, and then we'll show you the rest of the grounds. And she gets up, her little legs moving pretty quickly. Doesn't really even let you wait for you to grab anything, and walks off and leads you to the Great Halls. As you enter in, there's one room, long tables, big open space. There's food on all the tables. Though there's not a lot of students currently in there. She sits down. You all start having a bite to eat. And as it's happening, three students walk over to Renee and you all. There's this large Goliath in just very, very nice, fine clothes, well embroidered, very decorative. There is another Eladrin, though in kind of more casual clothes. She has long red hair braided to the side, and then there is an elf, and not Eladrin, just a regular old elf that's actually wearing a few pieces of like armor almost, and he has a shaved head and a few tattoos on the cheeks and neck that you can see. As they walk over, the Goliath seems to be leading the way and says, "Hey, Rennie, you got some new students today?" Yeah. "What are your names?" "I'm Dario."
I'm Ariadne.
Ariadne?
Mm-hmm.
"It's a pleasure to meet you."
You're very tall.
"I am. That's true. You are less tall than me."
Well, you look very nice.
Thank you. I'm a tailor, actually. I made this.
Oh wow, that's exquisite.
Thank you. Watch this. And there's, as you look closely at the kind of the embroidery along the seams, he rubs his fingers on it, and it goes from, it was originally this navy blue, and as he rubs his fingers on this embroidery, it shifts colors to like this red as his thumbs go down it.
Oh my gosh, that's magnificent.
Yeah, that's what these patterns. I was in the library and I learned that if you with this pattern you can change colors of clothing, and I learned how to embroider it, and that's what I do.
I don't do anything that impressive.
It was I doubt that. It was Ariadne and you, my dwarven friend.
Oh, hello there. That's Khoz. Nice to meet you, Doriel. And he kind of
He's a musician.
puts his he's been kind of strumming around his ukulele, and he puts it down for a second and gets up on his toes a little bit and reaches up as high as he can.
Yep. Shakes your hand. And you. What's your name?
Ashryn. And it's just going to be short and sweet. I'm untrusting of other kids, and so it's just Ashryn.
Ashryn, that's a nice name. Well, like I said, I'm Dariel. This is Tay. He points to the Eladrin. She says, "It's lovely to meet you all." And this is Ilian, the elf with the armor. We've been here for about 4 years, studying for a while. So, Rini, what you gonna show him? She says, "Well, we've gotta take him to Gibble at the library. Show him kind of around where the different classes are, the schools. Lots of the new students like seeing where some of our magical creatures are." And he says, "Yeah, I mean, but everybody's gonna see that. You should show them something fun."
Well, magical creatures. What kind of
I
creatures?
think that's very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the sprouts are fun. They're like
Sprouts.
They're like small seedlings that look like grass, but they're actually beings, and so they burrow into the ground.
I know what a sprout is. What else is there?
Oh, sorry. We have a griffin. Who's here? Yeah, Harold.
Harold the Griffin.
But it's with an E. Herald.
Oh, Harold the Griffin.
Yeah. He's
Does he sing?
a little bit. Yeah, he's quite loud. Yeah, we have that. There's if you're going to the library, you're actually going to meet someone. That's a nice surprise. That'll be fun for you. But have you heard that there's ghosts on this campus?
Ghosts.
Yeah,
Is that right, Daria?
there are.
What kind of ghosts?
What do you mean? What kind of ghosts?
They're friendly, they're vengeful, morose, sulky, emo.
The one I'm thinking of, the ghost of Rovan Dearmar. It's over in Dearmar's tower. That's where you should go. And he's like, they don't want to see that. Listen, it's the best site. It's the best site in the academy. It's an old observatory. It's fantastic. You just gotta watch out for the ghosts. Anyways, welcome to the school. We'll all I'm sure we'll see you around. Then he and his friends walk off. He's like, sorry, I can take you there if you want.
They're dangerous. This ghost of Ruvan Delmar.
I think it's a rumor. I've not seen this ghost.
Oh, you think Daria was just pulling our leg?
Might have been.
I've never seen a ghost before. I don't know if I believe in them.
Yeah. I mean, they're real. Ghosts are real.
Oh well.
There's a few around.
Quick lore question. There's always that question of in any sort of fantasy world, like what do the conspiracy theorists believe in, right? Like in a world where dragons and owlbears are real, everyone's like, oh, ghosts, what a myth.
Yeah.
So in this particular in Faeforge, would a ghost be like, oh yes, undead, that's a thing that we all know exists, or is it more of like, I don't know about these ghosts?
Yeah, I think there's a acceptance of undead things such as ghosts as being real, though what entails the specifics of a ghost is more left up to interpretation. Does that make sense?
Spooky.
Right.
So there's lots of different spirits that are ghosts.
Mm.
If that
Right.
makes sense. Anything that's
Poltergeist, wraiths.
yeah, anything that's an undead, phantom-y creature,
Mhm.
save for like there is a professor or two that has studied in-depth lore of undead things. They would have a more deeper understanding. But your average person is just like, yeah, ghosts are real. I don't know anything. Whatever's creaking outside of my door is a ghost. This floating guy right here is a ghost. Like, does that help give you a little more clarity?
It does.
Perfect.
It does. Well, I let Alvin know I would absolutely would love to see this ghost. Well, it does sound. I mean, there's a story there. I mean, you don't. If there really is a ghost, I mean, not everyone who perishes from this world ends up looking around. I mean, that's a real story right there.
I mean, if you want the story, they say that Relvan Dirmar was a professor here a few hundred years ago that was studying something in the stars, some sort of astrology, whatever. He had this big observatory. She points out the window, and you see this large tower that the roof of it is like caved in.
Oh, please, can we go? Please, can we go, Khoz?
I'm on board. I mean, Ariadne, you love the stars, and this guy died studying the stars. I mean, there's
Well,
it's like 1+1.
They say he was doing some sort of experiment.
Let's go.
They say he was doing this experiment, and whatever energy he called down from the stars, he was trying to harness this power. They say,
Oh, you can't do that.
and that's why
I've got like Rinny. I'm like have Rinny by the cloak while I'm walking towards this building, and Rinny's telling us the story.
Oh, we're going now. We do have to stop at the library today, at some point. So
Okay.
I will say, and she gets a little quieter. We aren't necessarily supposed to go in there.
Well, I mean, I understand, I guess.
I mean, I'll do it.
Well, tell you what, Rinny. Why don't we just forget
you
you,
all
just
seem-
told us that?
Well,
Yeah, I'm not lawful. It's cool. I say, checking my character sheet. Why don't you just meet? Well, you gave us directions to the main hall, and then you said meet you at the library, and then we did. And whatever we did between now and then is, we didn't know that it's off limits because no one ever told us.
yeah, and
Yeah.
exactly. And I think I gave you at least it was like more of a suggestion. I don't think it's actually written anywhere. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'll see you at the library in an hour.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So that, and she points to another really large building that is not collapsing. It's kind of across the courtyard from the Great Hall where you're in. Library's right over there. Please don't go in without me. It will get confusing quickly.
Sure.
I'll see y'all in an hour or so.
See you now.
All right. So you guys are heading towards this tower.
Yeah, Khoz is very excited about this. He's very verbose about well, I mean, if there's some story here about some professor that died doing some magical experiment, I mean, that's a tale right there. I mean, the little jaunt we went on yesterday, what was kind of a story, it was like, whoa, we snuck out in the middle of the night, and then there was this creature, and they were talking, and they both disappeared. And then they had slightly smaller shoes than me. That's not really a story. It's like a beginning.
Well,
That's it.
but that's where the best stories all start.
Right, but I mean, a good story has a whole arc to it, a beginning, a middle, and end. And so if they're already dead, their story's already finished. I want to hear that story.
Would you rather hear a story or write a great story, though?
Well, first, I want to hear a great story.
Okay.
Where's Ashryn weigh in all this?
She's going to have her hands in her pockets and kind of just be not dragging her feet, but definitely not participating in the conversation, just listening and moseying along.
That's so cool.
Accepting her fate to just go with them.
Yep.
So as you get there is no door to this tower. There was once, It's caved in. It doesn't look on closer inspection. You can see at a decently quick glance why they wouldn't want people in here regularly. It's not super stable. The building's not what you would qualify as structurally sound.
Mm-hmm.
There's whole chunks missing from the walls. You see there's like parts of it that are even like leaning. The other thing you notice as you enter in, there's, I don't want to say, because this whole school grounds has this magic just flowing through it that you all can feel. There's something a little bit more somber as you kind of step in close to this tower. This first level, as you enter in, you see old bookshelves that have books that have almost like rotted over time. The shelves are partially collapsed. There's a few desks. You feel a kind of a cool breeze kind of just bring a little bit of chill to the back of your necks as you walk in. And there, towards the back of this kind of circular building, there's a stairwell leading up, but everything is just kind of trashed and in ruins.
That is very spooky.
Very spooky, very somber. Well, I hope you're ready for a lot of history checks, DM, because this dwarf is about to go into this partially collapsing structure.
Go for it.
So there's no visible door that we see.
No, I mean, you can see like the structure of the building where the door would have been. It's just like collapsed in.
Gotcha.
Does that make more sense?
Is there any like gaping hole in the side of the structure that you could like scramble over?
Very easily.
All right. Well, as I'm gonna take a look at this and just see how structurally sound it is. I don't want to like cause like a cave in as I'm walking into this place.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you roll and invest?
So using my like dwarven racial feature of stone cunning, that is a 22.
Okay. Yeah. You find one of the holes that you feel like is not going to cause any collapses or any danger as you all kind of shuffle in there.
Mm-hmm. I turn around to Ashryn and Ariadne and I say, now as we enter in this place, and I cannot stress this enough, watch your step.
There are lots of strange tools in here as you get in, along with those books that you saw. I have a question for you, Adelaide, about Ariadne.
Mm-hmm.
Her wayfinding that she has done in the past, has there been, do you think she's found parallels on the material plane that she's on? Or is really only that first map that she found the only piece that felt normal?
I mean, they use similar tools to an extent. Like, she uses sextants and things like that, to gauge on the horizon. But they use, in her plane, they use crystals full of light that make refractions.
Yeah. Okay, so you do notice as you walk in things like sextants and other various instruments, though most are either like cracked or rusted, broken. You see like a very small telescope looking thing that's the lenses are shattered in it, but a lot of stuff that indicates that this whoever this wizard or professor was really interested in the stars.
Well, can't harness the power of the stars. I don't know why he would have thought about that. Seems a little dangerous to me. I'm gonna start hunting around for seeing if I can find a main workshop place, like his desk that he would have used.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like any more books that haven't fallen apart to decay and things like that.
Why don't you roll an investigation check?
I can do that. Haha, finally, a 21.
Okay. So as you're looking around on this first level, it looks like this was more like a study, maybe even a classroom sort of a setting. His main workshop doesn't seem to be up there. You do see some stairs in the back that lead up. And as you're flipping through some of the books, you do find something very interesting. Something written in like sort of an arcane, like you speak Celestial, right? So something written in Celestial that's very arcane in the nature of the writing. Yeah, so you find this spell that's unfamiliar to you. Like, it's not familiar as far as you don't know it. But you remember at your time working or as a Valkyrie, seeing similar spells to what this should do from some of your more fighty friends, going into battle with these stars kind of circling around them to protect them.
Fun.
So, and along with this book, as you read through it, it mentions, kind of as you're flipping through this page, it mentions Aludra as a place.
That's where I'm from. That's where I'm from. I just like run over to Khoz and like hold the book like way too close to his
I can't read when it's that close. I try to take a step back, and you keep like putting it on my face again.
You can't read it anyway. I don't think you can read Celestials.
And seeing her get so excited, I am gonna like peek over Khoz's shoulder to like see what they're talking about too. But you know, I'm still playing it cool.
Oh jeez. Just so you know, Khoz's inner monologue is like, oh, like Ashryn's so cool. I don't know why she even hangs out with us. Oh, she's so cool.
It's like the popular kid getting stuck to like sit with the nerds at lunchtime.
So yeah, as you continue to look through, there's nothing else really. Most of the books have kind of like rotted and pulled out. Even that book you found, there's only a few pages that you can actually read through. You do hear some sort of noise come from upstairs, just like a.
Khoz stops playing. Do you hear that?
Why don't one of you to roll a perception check?
Okay.
I pick
and the other can help, so you can have advantage on it.
Okay, a 20 natural, not natural 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So as you hear this clattering, there's also a really faint, just like whooshing, again coming from upstairs.
I think it's the ghost.
Yeah, Khoz has decided that's what ghost sounds like.
Another clattering sound.
It's definitely ghosts. Definitely.
Probably a mouse or a cat.
A ghost mouse or cat.
Hello?
These stairs that lead to the second floor, how do they look?
You've been on better stairs.
The best things. Yeah, I mean, as one would expect, if I haven't been saying this the entire time, I'm saying it now. I go up to these stairs and I say, well, clearly these aren't a dwarven make.
I will say, if you are, they look okay.
Well, I will.
They don't look like they're going to bring the whole building around you. Roll an investigation check, and
it's a 9.
A 9. Yeah, there's nothing that stands out about them, except that they're old and cracked, and you should be careful.
All right, I want to very carefully go up these stairs.
Okay. As you are going, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity save.
No!
I'm just kind of angling myself at the bottom of the stairs, even though this isn't going to work if he falls, but I'll catch him. I'm ready to catch him if he falls.
No need. I got a 22.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as you're walking up, your dwarven instincts are just kind of naturally, it's almost like a spidey
Finally
sense, right?
honed dwarven instincts. Dwarf sense tingling.
Like a cat.
And right as
dwarven cat. A very stocky cat.
You lightly set your foot down on one of the steps, and it just crumbles, just like a 3-foot section of the stone just crumbles. And as you look a second time, you're like, oh, there are 2 like very distinct cracks that went down covering these. Maybe I should be a little more careful going forward.
I think that, but what I say out loud is, you see, very unstable. Watch this section here.
But you all are able to make it up these stairs into this second area, and this looks more like a workshop. Benches, more tools, lots of like, what would any of you recognize it? There's because you work with gems and stuff like that, correct, Ariadne?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff for like shaping and cutting, and designing and etching on gemstones. A lot of equipment like that. There's even like, it looks like a partially finished small piece of not a really fine gemstone, something like quartz or something like that in there. And as you all make it up there, you see, going just through one of these bookshelves, just a wisp of blue light.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Whisper. Well,
I think there's something on the other side of that shelf.
It was probably a reflection off a mirror or something, or a gem.
I'm gonna play a song of friendship.
Okay.
I'm going to creep over to the table with the array of whatever gems he was working on, kind of like keeping my eye on the bookshelf where the thing went. I'm kind of like pressing my hand in front of it to see if like there was some kind of light that we just mistook.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
I'm going to lean against the wall, and I'm freaked out, but I'm like trying to find rational reasons why we're seeing and hearing things. So I'm just gonna, put my back against the wall.
Are you like playing like Friends? Like, are you using the cantrip or anything like that, or are you just
No. I go
playing
into
a happy song?
I go into. I play a happy song, and I mean it's a ukulele, so it's very difficult for me not to play happy songs.
Yeah.
But I play a song of Khoz kind of like launches into like he sings it. It's a song in Elven. He sings a song in Elven and it is a song of friendship. It's a song of we come bearing no swords, bearing no ill will, and we are here to meet peacefully and to hear your tale. And I kind of like improvise a little bit on it, like hear your tale, oh ghost. Normally it's like a song you would sing when like going to someone's home, or like when you're kind of like approaching someone, if you're like kind of like like we're travelers and we mean no harm, we just want a word for the night. But I kind of alter it a little bit to like we want to hear your sad tale, oh ghost, and it's an elvish song.
Okay. As that light kind of fades through, and you are Koz's song is playing. Ariadne, you said you were kind of investigating the
Ashryn had said it might be light, like reflecting, so she's kind of passing her hand in front of her to see if there's light on her, to see if she's right, essentially.
There is nothing that sticks out to you as similar to what you just saw. There is some light coming through one of these gaping holes in the wall that is reflecting normally off of some of these crystals and metallic devices, but they're just kind of making that normal shimmer that light through a crystalline structure gives, and none of it's that soft blue that you just saw. Ashryn, same. You don't see anything that's similar to what you just saw, but as Khoz is playing this song, kind of requesting to hear a tale, this blue light that you saw go through a bookshelf steps back through, and you see this ethereal-looking blue dwarf. Says,
"Oh,
would you keep it down? I'm working here." Oh, and walks back through the shelf, and you hear muttering, "Where's that bloody book? I've got to be missing something. There's got to be something going on. These damn students keep coming in here, ruining my studies." And
this book? I held up the book that I found.
What? That book. The ghost comes back through the bookshelf, and actually is like flipping pages, but it's more like as its hands pass, there's like you feel a breeze and like
little breeze, right?
Now, who lets you take care of these books? This book is in terrible condition. What has happened? I've not seen you all.
We're new.
Are you?
I'm introduce myself. I'm Khoz Forgeheart. And
why do you keep talking about ghosts?
No reason. Just we heard about ghosts earlier. I didn't catch your name.
Just call me Professor. That's all you need to know. I'm going upstairs. If you know anything about stars or how to find things with the sky or anything, you do.
Yes. I think. Usually.
Follow me. And he walks straight through the bookshelf again.
I don't think he knows that he's a ghost.
Professor?
We probably shouldn't tell him.
What? You hear kind of echoing back.
I can't.
Use the stairs.
That's a bookshelf.
Nobody's walking through bookshelves. Use the stairs.
Is this the top floor?
No, there's one more. There's one.
Oh, there's one more floor. Okay. Okay. I'm like, we're already at the top. Okay, we'll go up the stairs.
Hold on. I'm gonna examine these stairs. There we go. 25 on the stairs.
Ooh, even better.
Dwarf.
As you look, and you can indicate to Ariadne there's like 3 steps up there that you should just skip.
Mm-hmm. Just give him a good jump.
Yep. I just hold onto the wall and make like a really way too long step.
Khoz has to use his arms for momentum to jump those 3 stairs.
Ashryn just uses her 5'11" legs to step over.
Yeah, I look more graceful than I did out in the forest.
Hey.
And as you get to the top of these stairs, you see this dwarf at a desk, again with more books and stuff, flipping pages, but it also just like the air is flipping them. It's not actually he's not actually able to do what he thinks he's doing. He's going back. There's a Ariadne. You see this large telescope, just in ruins. So Ariadne, you see this telescope it's enormous. It's huge. It's probably 12 feet in length. The scope part of it, from the ground to the top is maybe another. It's like 8 feet off the ground at the highest point. But you see the lenses. You see glass all around it shattered. There's actually charring on it, and part of it's a little bit warped and broken from some sort of heat or something. There are char marks kind of all around this whole upper section where from the outside you saw that the roof was caved in, almost like a star came down from the sky and landed in this thing.
Khoz is gonna very surreptitiously, without drawing attention to himself, kind of look around for some moldering or decaying corpse dwarf bones. Yeah.
Roll an investigation check or a perception check. You can choose. I'm fine with either.
I am rolling rocks tonight here. 21.
And so, 21. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that in just a second. Ariadne, as he's looking at this desk and going back and forth, he says, "You said you knew about stuff, right?"
Kind of.
Does this make sense to you? And he's pointing at something on his desk. Well, come here. Don't be shy. Said you were gonna help. So help me.
Ultimately, lean forward and observe what he's got laid out.
There is, on this table, there's a chart, like a star chart. It looks familiar to you. You recognize it. And he's pointing at it. None of this is in the right spot. None of these are where they're supposed to be. But, and then you see another chart. He says, but this is my moment. And you see that it's a time. There's something's keeping track of time and days. You do see the dates on it are about 400 years old. The time is coming. These don't make sense. If I don't get this stuff right, something really bad's gonna happen, I think.
And I'm assuming the star chart is of my home, correct? Can I ask where you got this map?
There's hundreds of charts, of different charts in the Lost Halls.
Well, I don't know what you think this map is of, but I know these stars.
But it's a map of stars. What do you mean? You recognize these stars?
Oh yes, and I'll just start pointing out different constellations.
But why aren't they up there? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's because that's not our world. Or your world.
But this one, and he points to another one, says this one's there.
Well, I don't know what map that comes from. I'm not from this world. Surprise.
That's how did you get here?
Accident. There was a book and magic, and I opened a door and I felt. It's a long story. It's a long story, but you have, and I pull out the book that I was holding up, and I flip it back open to the page, and I point to where he had written, assumingly it's him, Aludra, and the notes in Celestial, and I said, that's where I come from. That's this map.
Who was using that book? I don't remember. I can barely remember the name of any of my students anymore. Those aren't my notes.
Oh.
But you're... And then the other thing you notice, as he puts his hands down, you notice a ring on his pinky.
Is it big and gold?
That's huge and gaudy. But it's ethereal, like his clothes are all ghosty. But it looks about the same.
I'm gonna kind of wait until he gets back and busy, and I'm gonna look over my shoulder and kind of gesture to Khoz and and everyone, and point to his little pinky finger, and be like,
which Khoz you saw. It's almost identical to the ring you saw on the individual in the forest, but it's ethereal, it's magical, and with that, we're going to end this episode.
Wait, hold on. Before we end the episode, does he have all of his fingers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
More mystery.
He does have all of his fingers.
I love it.
Thank you so much for listening to the Faeforge Academy. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star rating and review for a new podcast that is worth more than its weight in gold. We also have a Patreon if you wanted to get additional content like character journals, sneak peeks, Ask the Cast sessions, and more. I also want to say thanks to this amazing cast, so why don't y'all let the people know how to find you?
I am Adelaide Gardner, Adelaide on Twitter. I am 1/4 of a tabletop production company called Action Fiction, where we produce games like Monsters of Merca and many others that are upcoming.
Super cool stuff that's coming. Ian.
My name is Ian Gould. My Twitter handle is @GameOfScience, and I've got some CCCs that are coming out for those of you that play Dungeons & Dragons Adventures League, so keep an eye out for those. And by coming out, I mean probably in 3 to 5 months, but they are coming.
And Kai.
I am Kai, Stonefly_Kai on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me here at the Faeforge Academy and also on Kobold Press.
Yep. And I'm Steven. I'm at the Bad DM, at the _Bad DM. Without the underscore, it's a different person. And I am your DM for this show, the Faeforge Academy. You can also find me on Not Quite Heroes and Tabletop Galaxy. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Faeforge Academy to stay up to date on releases, live streams, anything the cast is doing, and all that fun stuff. So thanks for listening again, and we'll see you on the internet. Theme and background music by Dave Cole of the Four Orbs. To find more music like this, search for D. Cole Music on YouTube. Additional sound effects found at zapsplat.com. The Faeforge Academy is proud to be a part of the Fundamentals Podcast Network. For more great podcasts and other fun content, go to thefundamentals.com.